Greetings everyone, Corky here, and welcome to another video. Sim racing can be expensive, it's a fact we all know. Even if you have the lowest end hardware like me, it'll still run you about $300, and so after you get your sim rig, you may find you have very little left over for a simulator itself. And so I've compiled 3 of the main free racing simulators. And I'm gonna try and test which one is best by doing a race in each one. And so, let's do some science and get into our first sim. This right here is Live for Speed, a very, very old racing simulator, and it is mostly free. It's sort of a free trial. You get a track and a few cars, and you're set off, and it's a one-time payment for the rest of the game. This is a classic racing sim, and the cars up ahead are getting a little choked up. Let's all relax, guys, please. For whatever reason, I couldn't set up manual here, but we're just riding in these sort of teeny tiny cute little saloon cars. Rubbing is racing, I suppose, but please don't hit me. AI 9, you bastard. And now we're back into normal order. So, Live for Speed is, I want to say, almost like Richard Burns Rally old. It might be like 20 years old at this point. It feels good on the wheel as a first impression. This was actually my first simulator back when I used a phone to control instead of a wheel because I didn't have, a wheel. This was my first, foray into sim racing because it was free. And I think it should be a lot of people's foray into sim racing because it's very easy to run. This could run on any machine. And, I mean, it's a pretty solid racing sim. I really couldn't tell you much about the rest of the circuits in this game. If I were to levy one criticism off the bat, it's that it can be a little finicky to set up wheel stuff. It doesn't have the sort of modern amenities of simulators detecting what wheel you have. And also, I believe all of the tracks, or at least most of them, are fictional. This is Blackwood, which is definitely a fictional circuit made just for the game. And, I think there is something to be said about driving real circuits. That being said, I do really like Blackwood. I actually think it's a very fun circuit to drive. I wish it existed in real life. Alright, alongside this white car now. Beat him under the brakes, nice and easy. I mean, the wheel has like a decent amount of play in it. Oof, hit him on the side there, sorry. A bit of a messy dive bomb from me. But, I mean, the force feedback holds up pretty good. I'm no professional critic, but feels fine to me. Feels no worse than any other sim. It is a little hard to go through slow speed corners. I'm not sure if this is just me. Maybe it's just like this car. But the force feedback is like really pushing against you when you're going through that first hairpin. So far though, oh, Kevin Estra on the grass. Okay, sorry, didn't mean to do that. But I mean, yeah, it feels good. The car responds the way I think the car would respond. These things are front-wheel drive, but they're lovely. These wonderful little beginner saloons. Absolutely adorable. Is there a move to be had down the inside? Not really. If I were to criticize the AI at all, I think they race fine, and you can customize, their skill ability. But I will say that they are oftentimes a little rude when you try and put it down the inside. They sort of don't leave you any room. Speak of the devil. Alright, well, we kind of pushed him out of the way there, but, rubbing is racing, as I just said. And now it is on to the last lap. We are 5th place. We'll see if I can get any other positions going here. Still got a great run on Mr. AI4 here. Got a slipstream. Heading past with ease. But yeah, I think the main problem with this game is that it does, of course, lack modern amenities. There is no radar. There's none of that stuff. However, there is a thriving multiplayer community, and I think you might even be able to use this with Crew Chief. I'm not sure. I haven't used Crew Chief myself in quite a long while. Little switchback, little switcheroo. Oh shit, it might actually happen. I'm gonna try and make him... Oh no, he just slams into my side there. That's what I mean. The AI can get a little rough and tumble themselves. Ooh, big slide. Big slide. It might still stick though, that move. If I can just get around this corner. And if so, that'll be a podium for us. And indeed it is. After 3 laps, we are 3rd place from last. You love to see it. And that was Live for Speed. I would rate this pretty dang good. I think it's going to be like this for a lot of them, but my review is it's free, doesn't take much space, you can run it on any machine. I think you should pick it up. Go give it a download, maybe buy the full version if you feel like it. Let's get on to the next simulator. Alrighty folks, this is our next simulator. This is Copa Petrobras De Marcas. It is a Brazilian racing simulator. Yeah, that's its whole thing. You can get this on Steam for a whole $0. That's the point of this video, don't know why I mentioned that. And it's just Brazilian touring car racing. Obviously we're racing Interlagos today because I don't have any other circuits memorized. Let's see how this goes. Alrighty folks, it's a rolling start. We're not getting a great getaway at that. Oh, a bit of late braking into turn 1, not intentionally, mind you. And it's a traffic jam through here, Jesus. Getting up the inside of one of the AI there, a Toyota. Now, first impressions. Bit of a pain in the ass to set up. This took me a while to get any force feedback going and working the way it should do. Oh, I'm so sorry. I keep braking too late. That did give me a little bit of a chance to practice, but it's clearly not working out for me. Force feedback feels simultaneously a bit too heavy and also really light in some spots. God knows what that's about. And oh, we've just been rear-ended. That being said, I mean, it drives pretty okay. These cars are not the most eventful, to put it one way. But it ain't too bad. I do think simulators with sort of niche topics like this, like Brazilian touring car racing, are pretty good. Also, don't know if it's just the nature of this car, but you have to really crank the wheel around to make it go through a corner. And, like, I'm full lock right now. It is ridiculous. I have it set to 900 degrees, so I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe it's a setting I'm missing. And now, this is a weird part of Interlagos that I'm not used to. There's a chicane up here, which I'm mostly just saying out loud to remind myself. Lest I fucking die. Ooh, I almost did. But we're okay. We did get a poor run through there compared to our counterpart, though. And so we fall back behind. It's 3 laps of racing. And I'm noticing the field is already pretty far split. Absolute move down the inside. Did not mean to do that. Seems like we have a little bit of a battle going with this. I believe it's a Mitsubishi? This orange Mitsubishi here? Cool stuff. Oh god, I broke way too late. Get me out of here. That'll be an easy overtake for our Mitsubishi friend. Any other feedback now? I mean, you know, graphically it's not the prettiest, but compared to Live for Speed, this is basically full realism. Mind you, Live for Speed doesn't look that bad either. Oh my god, there's gotta be something wrong with my steering calibration. There's no way I need to be turning this much. The visual steering wheel angle is at 900, but maybe there's like an actual steering wheel angle setting somewhere. That's a fun chicane. I don't know why Interlagos doesn't run that more often. Maybe it's not the best for overtakes, but you know, fun to lap through. We are kind of getting our shit kicked in, though, by this orange Mitsubishi, but there also isn't really any traffic behind us to pose any pressure. But hey, 1 lap to go. Did not mean to skip into 3rd gear there, but it wasn't the worst decision. These cars feel kind of weirdly forgiving. Like, you don't want to brake too late in them, but I've never felt like it's gonna spin at all. It's super planted. I wonder if it's, again, something with my steering settings, where because I'm just not turning at all, it's something like that. I couldn't find a setting for it. There was really nothing. My wheel is beginning to threaten to come off my desk, because I'm having to crank it so much. AO pause. I guess my feeling about the simulator is, you know, I don't think it's half bad, and again, it's free. Has more content than Live for Speed, that's a plus, lots of tracks, pretty select car group, but if you're a nerd about Brazilian motor racing, then I can see this appeal. Let's see if I can really send it through the chicane here. Touring cars are made to hit sausage curves, baby. Ah, that feels great. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm certainly not having the worst time in the world. And that is the final lap. And that is race over. Lord knows where all of the other traffic went. I'm very perplexed by that. But that wasn't too bad. Would I recommend the sim? Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. If you can be bothered to finagle with it, it seems like it's a pretty low demand for your system, as long as you can just mess with the settings for a while and get it dialed in. But yeah, not half bad. So, there's the rest of our traffic. Don't know where you guys went. Would have been cool to see you guys on track, but hey. And yeah, let's go to our last simulator. I feel like if you know this channel, you knew this was going to happen, but this is RaceRoom. RaceRoom Racing Experience, if you want to be specific about it. And it's one of my favorite simulators. The way it works is that you get some pre-content off rip when you get the game for free. And then you have to buy the rest of the content individually, a bit like the way iRacing does it, but without the subscription. I will talk about how much I love this game throughout the race. But for now, all you need to know is that we're doing 3 laps at Sepang in TCR cars. Sepang's definitely free. I can't remember if the TCR cars are. I think they are, but you get a good few cars to play with. So let's give it a shot. Here's a great thing about RaceRoom. You can do rolling starts in it. And it has the modern amenities. That is really what sets it apart from other free simulators, is you can have a radar, and it's just, it all works. It sets up the wheel for you. It acts like a modern simulator does. I wouldn't say there's anything about RaceRoom that sets it apart from other modern simulators much, apart from the fact that it's free, but that's a big fact. Oh my god. Okay, in my defense, he turned in on me. Fuck you! Dude, Jesus Christ. Anyways, what was I saying? Ah, yes, the modern simulator. I will say, Sepang is especially messy, just sort of as a rule of thumb, just because of how tight the first hairpin is. That shit's scary as hell, man. So, reasons why I like RaceRoom. Lots of content, lots of series. There's GT3s, there's Porsche Cup, there's a bunch of stuff. There's also a pretty comprehensive online system, and decent AI racing as well. I mean, it's a good sim. I kind of think of RaceRoom, oh my god, fucking Daniel Ricciardo style. I think of RaceRoom almost like a miniature iRacing, in the way its model works and sort of the online stuff. It recently had a pretty decent graphical upgrade that makes it look a little better than it used to. So I'd say it's a pretty good looking sim, although I do have graphics turned down a bit. And we are getting mogged by the AI here. Please don't let me hit him. Oh my god. I keep accidentally almost doing terrible, terrible dive bombs. I am a war criminal. It's just because I haven't practiced enough, to be honest. Dive bomb. Yeah, baby. Oh, that was perfect. Can't ask for much more, except for maybe making this corner properly. Ow! Son of a bitch. Generally speaking, the AI race pretty clean. The same cannot be said of me. Gonna go defensive here. Oh my god. Wow, he actually swings it around the outside. Gotta respect it, but I think I'm gonna get him around the outside of this corner. And we clear him indeed. They're just a little slow through this portion. That's like the only place where I can make up any time at all. Through this middle sector. Ah, he didn't really leave me much room on the inside. To be fair, that was a bit of an unfair dive, but still. The AI can be a little aggressive, if I'm honest. I don't by any means want to make the sim look bad because of my terrible driving, but I am just really out of practice. Jesus Christ. Well, it was never really about winning. It was about showcasing the simulators, and I suppose this is what RaceRoom looks like if you suck at sim racing. There you go. So if any of you are really bad drivers, now you know what it's going to be like to play RaceRoom, which is pretty fun, but hard. You can turn down the AI difficulty, though. I probably should have done that, but nah. I think, generally speaking, the reason I believe that RaceRoom is such a good free simulator is that it is varied, and it's a competent simulator. It's not like LFS or Copa Petrobras De Marcas, where you have to spend a bunch of time setting it up, and it's a little bit glitchy and weird, and it's old. RaceRoom still gets updates. They still get big updates. They just had a bunch of them. I believe LFS did actually get a graphics update recently, which is kind of hilarious, because that sim is, I think, laid pretty dormant otherwise. Cars up ahead are battling. That's good for me. Sort of just Sunday driving this, because I don't want to bin it. If I had to say one thing about RaceRoom is that it can be a little harder to run on crappier systems, but they do have a myriad of graphic settings that may help you out. They also have plenty of driving assists if you suck like me, which I probably should turn some of those on, eh? No, getting the authentic experience, where I go into the gravel 10 times. I have not sim raced in a long while. Forgive me. And around this god-awful hairpin one more time. I'm regretting choosing Sepang, and I don't like it. I think it's an annoying ass track in a lot of spots. God damn it. Alright, well, one last time for good measure. And we'll get overtaken there. It's a drag race to the line. Fuck you! Oh, I was trying to sideswipe him, but I completely missed. I can't even crash people intentionally. Well, there's dead last in RaceRoom, but don't let that bad finishing position tell you that RaceRoom is a bad simulator. Then what's the verdict? Well, I'd say RaceRoom is probably the best free simulator, but I do also think it's the most resource intensive and it takes up the most space, so there's that. Generally speaking, I would encourage you pick up all of these. They're free. What's the worst that could happen? But if I had to recommend one specifically, if you have a good PC, do RaceRoom. If you have a bad PC, do LFS. And if you like Brazilians, do Copa Petrobras De Marcas. So, with that out of the way, Corky, out.